You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Crystal clear skies and a beautiful day for soccer at Briner Sports Complex. It's the MAC home opener for the Ball State Cardinals as they take on their rivals, the Central Michigan Chippewas. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by Sam Klug. Thank you all for coming into our lives for our Thursday evening. Sam, I couldn't be more excited for this matchup. Ball State, MAC home opener, and not just that, an opportunity for head coach Andy Stoots in his first season to win his first home matchup here at Briner.
That's right. You said it perfectly. Andy Stoots, obviously they had that home game against Butler, but ended in a draw. Hasn't gotten over the line yet. And like you said, just a beautiful day here. Crystal clear skies. It's a heater, so the players are going to need to stay hydrated, but I couldn't be more excited to be here with you.
And the Cardinals, they're off to a hot start right now. 4-2-1 on the season. They started 0-2, but granted, those were a pair of losses to Big Ten opponents. They held their own against IU and Purdue, but they've won 4 of their last 5, and the latter of that was a draw against Butler at home last week. So Ball State has been red hot. What do you think the key to that is?
Yeah, I think the key is just how aggressive they've been playing recently. They've been scoring goals, but also their defense has been extremely hot, like the temperature today.
Yeah.
They've been able to hold their opponents only 2 goals over those last five games, and the only 2 goals came in that draw versus Butler.
You know, Sam, I couldn't be more grateful today to be in an air-conditioned press box, I'll tell you that.
That's right.
But I want to talk about that last matchup, last Sunday against UMass. And this is a UMass team that has high expectations in their first year in MAC play. They had a first-place vote. They ended up finishing 3rd in the preseason poll. So, Sam, getting that 1-0 win. Lexi Watkins scores in the first 2 minutes for Ball State. After that, it was a defensive grudge match. What did you take away from that performance for Ball State?
Yeah, like you said, UMass has these high expectations, especially coming into their first year in the Mid-American Conference. But I just want to give credit where credit is due to Ball State's defense. When you have a goal scored within the first 2 minutes, the adrenaline starts pumping, your team's excited because that's the start you want. But their ability to continue to play the way they play their game and hold off the UMass offense was incredible, especially for 88 straight minutes, especially being on the road in a place they aren't familiar with at all, considering it's UMass's first year in the MAC.
Oh, indeed, yeah, and I think we have to talk about that. Again, I think these players aren't going to get enough credit for that because, I mean, a lot of these Central Michigan players, even though, like last year, they had 15 players graduated, which is the most in NCAA soccer. At the same time, there are still some players that were on this pitch last year, and they know what to expect. But the Cardinals didn't on Sunday.
That's right, they didn't at all. Like I was saying before, UMass, completely new team, and they have a completely new coach. So how they approach that, again, give credit where credit is due. Fantastic outing by the Cardinals. And like you said, off to a great start. When your new head coach wins in his MAC opener, you got to be saying, wow, things are looking good.
Now, let's look at these Central Michigan Chippewas, Sam. An 0-7 record. 0-1 in MAC play, losing to Ohio on Sunday. Obviously, has not been the season that Jeremy Groves and company would have wanted. Haven't even scored a goal all season. What's it going to take for one, just to get on the scoreboard, but also to finally win a match?
Yeah, and to give the Chippewas a little bit of credit, a lot of these matches have been within a few goals. I mean, their last 3 games, they've all lost 1-0. The game before that, they lost 2-0. So they've been in moments where they could have captured the game, but it just didn't go their way. And as we were talking to Groves earlier today in a little pregame interview, he talked about how a lot of these have just been silly mistakes that just haven't gone their way and something they need to clean up if they want to get these wins. And I think in order to do that, they just need to take care of the soccer ball. They need to clean up some of those stuff and just go back to the fundamentals.
Yeah, and speaking of silly mistakes, let's talk about that last matchup against Ohio. A 1-0 loss for Central Michigan. Obviously very close, like you mentioned, a pair of 1-0 losses for the Chippewas. But what stands out to me, 14 team fouls. That just can't happen.
Yeah, you just have to be more disciplined, especially when you're in these conference games. The very first, you want to win that first, start off on a good foot. But yeah, you just have to clean those up, and that's something Coach Groves was emphasizing when we were talking to him, and I'm sure it's something they touched on in practice this week leading up to today's first road game in the Mid-American Conference for the Chippewas.
And speaking of head coach Jeremy Groves, we caught up with him earlier today. Here's a quick look at that. Here with Central Michigan head coach Jeremy Groves. So Jeremy, this is such a big matchup for your team because you're looking for your first win. What have you told your players to get them ready for this matchup?
Well, I think every game that we've come into this or come into the season, right, I think we're growing as a group. I don't know how much you know about our roster, but I think we graduated the most amount of Division I players last year, 15. I think one thing that really hasn't helped us is we haven't had a spring season for 2 years through, I think, injuries and roster change a little bit. So I think that's hurt this group's development. We're starting anywhere from 5 to 6 freshmen every game. And they're growing. I think every game we're getting better. I think, non-conference, first 4 games we played some really tough competition, which, I think good or bad scheduling maybe. I'm not sure. We got to obviously gain confidence. But I think our group's growing every game, and I would expect them to continue to grow. I thought in spells on Sunday against Ohio, who's a good team and been there or thereabouts for the last 2 or 3 years in our conference. I thought we had really good moments, and ultimately we lost on a really bad mistake from our goalkeeper. So, I'd expect our young players to keep getting better here.
Yeah, and if I were to walk into your locker room right now and there was a bulletin board of 3 points that you want to emphasize today with your team, what would those 3 things be?
Well, I think it's taking care of details. I think number one. I think the details all season have kind of hurt us a little bit. We lost to Loyola Chicago on a set piece. We lost to Butler ultimately on a set piece, and then we had to chase the game and gave up a second. Cincinnati, we lost on a set piece when I thought we were we got 2 cleared off the line in the second half when it was 0-0. So I think that's number one. I think the second thing is I think we got to be sharp up front. I thought on Sunday we created 3 or 4 really good opportunities against Ohio, but I think it was the finishing touch. So I think sharpness around the goal. And then I think that the last point is I think staying organized. At times with a young team, we kind of lose focus a little bit as well, and we're a little unorganized. So we just got to make sure we take care of that today.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep.
Great stuff from head coach Jeremy Groves. I mean, he said it. Got to fix up on those sloppy mistakes. But for you, Sam, who are some impact players for both Central Michigan and Ball State that you expect to make a big impact in such a big game?
Yeah, for sure. We said a little bit in our pregame talk. We're like, I think it's just going to be whoever's playing goalkeeper for Central Michigan. Well, we now know that that's Riley Borgman. For the first 2 seasons here, she was an understudy. She was the backup. But now she started the first 2 games of the season, got benched in the third one, and then came in that third game. She started 3 games. She's going to be the impact player of the game, especially because of how close these recent games have been for the Chippewas. They need someone strong in net, especially to deliver them the first win of the year. For the Cardinals, it's the hometown hero, Addie Chester, the Delta grad who grew up in Muncie. She's been on a tear recently, leads the team in goals, assists, points, shots on goals as well. She has been their star for the year so far.
Yeah, she really has. I mean, it's hard to deny Addie Chester's greatness. And I'm just thankful, even though she was at Louisville to start her career, she went from Cardinal to Cardinal, and she was able to spend her last 2 seasons here.
That's right. She felt a calling home, and I guess you can cue up Homecoming by Kanye West.
Exactly. Perfect way to cue that in. What are your keys to the match, though, for Ball State to get their 5th win of the year and for Central Michigan to get their 1st?
Yeah, you heard it in the interview with Coach Groves. It's to clean up those corners and set pieces, how they've lost a lot of the games so far this year. Like he said, you got to stay organized, especially with such a young team. And, again, 15 new faces that have never played together. That's a tall task for even for any coach, even for a 7-year, tenured head coach. And
yeah, and you're absolutely right when it comes to that. It is a tough mountain to climb.
Yeah, and for the Cardinals, it's just be aggressive and attack the ball. We talked to Coach Stoots, first-year head coach, in our production meeting, and he said we want to be an aggressive team. He also said that if you want to watch a very fast style of play, and if you're looking for physical play, fast games, then you're going to love watching Ball State soccer.
Indeed, you will, especially with the way Ball State's been playing the last 5 matches, winning 4 of their last 5. Such a big match for Ball State. And like I was saying earlier, Andy Stoots, He mentioned just the comfortability, and that's huge. He even told these seniors when he came in, I want this to be your best year of Ball State soccer yet. And let's see if he can live up to that promise, especially today against Central Michigan. We'll be right back with more Ball State soccer. When we come back, it'll be right timing for kickoff. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
You're listening to Ball State Soccer on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Now, back to the action. We are back from Reiner Sports Complex. It is time for Ball State Soccer against Central Michigan, getting ready to get underway. But before that, let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. We're going to start with Ball State. At the goalkeeper position, we'll start there with Abby Jenkins. What a great year she's had. Dealt with injuries in the past. Last season only playing in 7 matches. In 2023, missed all of it. Only played 1 match in 2022. She's dealt with injuries, but it's so great to have her healthy again.
Oh, 100%. And she's been their consistent starter so far, has started and played in 5 out of the 5 games and has only allowed 4 goals so far. That's add up to a .778 save percentage.
Yeah, again, she has had a great season. And let's look at the defenders for this Ball State team. First off, we got number 13, Delaney Ahern, coming in from Mississippi State earlier in her career. Greer Isaacson, a freshman who has started in every match so far this season. Then you got Jordan Klassen and Audrey Goodyear to round up the defensive side for Ball State. Then you look at the midfielders, LG Moncrief, the sophomore out there for Ball State, as well with Lexi Watkins, who scored her first goal of the season in the last game against UMass.
Yeah, that's right. Consistent players there for the Cardinals. Moncrief coming in, has only started 1 game before today. Definitely cool to see her in the lineup and to get her second start and for the home opener of the conference season.
And then more on the midfielders, you got Tori Monaco, a senior for Ball State. Man, has she had quite the career as a Cardinal. And then also Fiona Killian, with her 3rd school, looking to make an impact here. And the forwards for Ball State's Delaney Caldwell and Addie Chester, 2 All-MAC candidates already. We're getting ready to get started here. Delaney Caldwell for Ball State in the center circle. The Cardinals kits today are red with white lettering. Central Michigan with the white kits and the maroon lettering. Caldwell kicks it away. Ball State going left to right. We are underway. Cardinals already a big stomp going left to right, a high arcing kick. Central Michigan already with possession. Ball State takes it right back, however, with Lexi Watkins. Into the attacking third already. It's Addie Chester looking to back her way out. Goes to Killian. We mentioned it earlier. Her third school. Spent her freshman year with Xavier, the last 2 seasons with Temple. Cardinals working the far sideline with Greer Isaacson. It's poked out of bounds. Ball State has an opportunity to inbound with Lexi Watkins. Into the 18 they go with Delaney Caldwell in her senior season. Man, what a career she's had as a Cardinal. But they back it up, looking to go inside the 18 with Chester. She has control. Hands off to Caldwell. Here's a shot on. It's wide left. It'll be a goal kick for Central Michigan, but Ball State already getting aggressive.
Yeah, you talked about Caldwell having a fantastic year so far with Ball State. MAC Freshman of the Year in her first year. Second team All-MAC her sophomore year. Man, what more could you ask for? And then last year she tallies it up with 7 goals and 8 assists on the year. Talk about a team player.
Oh, indeed she is. I mean, you could say that about a lot of Cardinals as well, but really spreading the love as Central Michigan controls at mid-pitch. But Ball State gets it right back with Delaney Ahern, the redshirt junior, formerly at Mississippi State. That one is poked out of bounds on the far touchline. Central Michigan with an opportunity to attack on the left side of the pitch. They move right to left on your radio dial. It's Alyssa DeCampley, but it's intercepted that time. Picking the pocket is L.J. Moncrief for Ball State. Caldwell's in a bit of a jam, but Central Michigan gets it right back. They're in that middle third area right now. Free ball could be anybody's, but it goes out of play on the near touchline, left side of the pitch.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Stoots in our pregame production meeting, and he said Central Michigan's a lot better team than what their record says. They lost a lot of close games, and they played a lot of good opponents as well. So he said he's preparing his team for a physical contest.
It really is going to be a physical contest, especially a Central Michigan team that has nothing to lose.
That's right, you can say that again. No goals on the season yet, looking for their first still.
At Ball State on the near side, they work with Tori Monaco, the senior, guarded closely by Weed, and she has to back cycle over to Jordan Klassen. She has started in every match so far this season, make it 8 now. Looking to go inside to Delaney Caldwell towards the bottom of the pitch, but it's deflected back. Working around the midfield area, Ball State has it picked away. That time it is by Rachel Jackson. Jackson, one of 3 team captains for the Chippewas this year. Audrey Goodyear getting her hands dirty already for Ball State, able to create a turnover, and the Cardinals have an opportunity on their left side. The goalkeeper, Abby Jenkins, will kick it away. So far, we're 3 minutes in, still no score, but we are just getting started here, folks.
45-minute halves here in collegiate soccer. Adds up to 90, and there's no shootouts in the regular season, only draws.
And that's where that one draw for Ball State comes from against Butler. That was last week here at Briner Sports Complex. Central Michigan, it's just been all losses so far. And right now, Olivia Bretz controls it on a free kick opportunity for Central Michigan on the near touchline. Bretz was there in 2023 for Central Michigan. Last year, transferred to Division III center. Now back as a Chippewa. Here's her free kick. A curling effort into the 18. Unable to get anybody home, however. Nobody touches it, and it goes well out of play on the goal line. So Ball State has it for a goal kick.
Yeah, if you can't hear it here on the crowd mic, it's incredibly windy today. Would not be surprised if she kind of lost that one up in the wind.
And that's a factor that most people really don't talk about. The wind in soccer, especially with those high arcing kicks, it really does have an impact.
Yeah, you might think, oh, the ball is too big to be affected by the wind, but that is completely untrue. It affects the ball lots of times. That's why the players try and hit those curls.
And a great hustle effort on the far side, right end of the pitch. Ball State's attacking from Lexi Watkins. The feed inside to Caldwell. A quick touch and a deflection on the far touchline. It's a struggle. A battle goes out of play. Looks like he'll stay here with the Cardinals. Ball State has yet another opportunity. Chester gets tripped up by Sophia Spano, but Ball State does get it right back. Moncrief, the feed on the right side, picked away that time by Milena Troy of Central Michigan. The Oakland transfer goes all the way to midfield, where Cardinals get it back on the bottom half of the pitch. Ball State back cycling to Monaco. Such a beautiful day here at Briner Sports Complex, even with the wind, not a cloud in sight. That one goes out of play on the far touch line. It goes to Central Michigan this time around. It'll be Cameron Dunn to inbound. She heaves it up going right to left. Ball State a quick head tap. Central Michigan gets it right back, however, off of the deflection. About 6 minutes into this contest, still no score between Ball State and Central Michigan. Another thing, too, the Chippewas looking for their first win over the Cardinals since March of 2020. Liv Moulton controls. She kicks it away on the far touch side for Central Michigan to go in Ball State's in favor on their attacking side.
Yeah, going back to how long these Cardinals have been on a win streak, it's their longest of the series with 5, yet to match the Chippewas' longest streak, which is 7.
Yeah, and this was a matchup. I mean, Central Michigan also, you have to remember, their program is 1 year older than Ball State's, but this is a matchup early on that they had dominated. That one goes out of play on the near touch side, goes off of Tori Monaco of Ball State. In the inbound, it'll be Kylie Weed, a Michigan native from Jackson for Central Michigan.
You talk about how these programs are only a year apart from each other and when they were started, and also both each have 150 MAC wins. So whoever wins here today will garner their 151st MAC win.
Bragging rights indeed. I wonder if head coach Stoots knows that. Wouldn't that be something?
Especially with his first year being here, that would be something.
Yeah, it would be a nice motivational factor. He came from 4 seasons as an associate head coach at Missouri. Ball State controls on the near touch line, right side of the pitch, their attacking end. They have an opportunity on the outside of the near 18, kicked away that time by a Chippewa, that being Weed. So Ball State, another opportunity to attack. So far, no score, 7 minutes to go, or 7 minutes in, I should say, in this first half. Chester gets chipped up on the goal line. She's inside the 6. Here's a shot on wide left and out of play. Addie Chester was looking for her 7th goal.
I love the aggressiveness so far from the Cardinals, especially from their team leader. Like I said before, leads the entire, pretty much every stat other than minutes played.
Yeah, Addie Chester, unreal what she's done in her Ball State career that's been relatively short the last couple of years. Even at Louisville, a very accomplished player, but she knew that she had to go home. Central Michigan lobs it up right inside the center circle. Now on the top of it, Ball State controls it. Cardinals so far, it seems like they're getting more opportunities on their attacking end, and that continues right here. Addie Chester, she carves through a defender into the 18, gets past 2, looking for Caldwell. Here's a shot on and in. Delaney Caldwell scores and makes it 1-0 Cardinals early.
Her 2nd goal of the year, and that makes Chester's 3rd assist of the year. And with that, Addie Chester now moves into. She now has 11 assists on her career.
Look, I will say, I'm at a loss for words, too. Again, that got me excited as a Ball State, the Ball State fan in me. But at the same time, that's just so big for the Cardinals. Delaney Caldwell, like you said, her 2nd goal of the year. You have to be impressed. And then now with that, Addie Chester, she leads the team in assists. Maybe a little friendly competition between her and Tori Monaco. They were tied at 2 previously. It's her 3rd right there. Delaney Caldwell getting it started with the big left-footed boot into the goal to the right of the goalkeeper in Borgman for the Chippewas.
Yeah, Delaney Caldwell now only 2 away from moving into 6th all-time in program history for goals. She has 17 on her career.
And you already know that's not a far feat for her at all.
Not at all.
Central Michigan, they now have an opportunity of their own. It's Jackson controlling just on the outside of the 18, blocked away by Killian, out of play on the near touch line. Looks like it'll go to Central Michigan to inbound right near the bottom left corner. It'll end up being Weed. Weed, like we mentioned, from Jackson, Michigan. As you would expect, a lot of Michigan products on this Central Michigan squad. Kicked away out of bounds on the goal line. And looks like this will be a corner kick for Central Michigan, their first of the contest. And kicking it away will be Olivia Bretz, the transfer from Center College. But she spent her freshman season at Central Michigan. On her Instagram, she described it as the return of the MAC. And she's on to the right of Jenkins, the Ball State goalkeeper, left end of the pitch. She lets it rip. It's a little curler and a head tap for Central Michigan. It goes out of play. Disaster avoided for Ball State.
Looks like it might have been the wind again. That one flew a little far. I want to go back to what you were talking about before, kind of these Michigan locals who stayed home. We had 2 people from Bloomfield Hills High School, as well as 2 from St. Clair.
Yeah, again, and most of them played on a club team called the Michigan Hawks. That's quite prevalent with a lot of the players on this roster. And a free ball opportunity for the Cardinals with Jordan Klassen. They move left to right on your radio dial. Audrey Goodyear, she controls it right now for the Cardinals. Last season, she played the most minutes on the entire Cardinal roster last season. That's a pretty impressive feat, over 1,000.
Yeah, any soccer player who gets over the 1,000 mark, you know you played a lot of your team's minutes that game. Season, I should say.
Indeed, they did. Right now, the Cardinals in their red uniforms, it's a sea of red as Caldwell kicks it away. An opportunity and an offsides call. Central Michigan controls it.
Now looks like we
scratch that. It'll actually end up being on Ball State's favor. Looked like maybe Chester could have been a little bit ahead of that, but instead they rule it in Central Michigan's favor right on the middle of the pitch.
That's right. Good chance to move into attack formation, and kind of going back to what we said when we were talking about Stoots and his pregame comments. He said he wanted to attack early, and that's what the Cardinals did today.
So now Monaco, the head tap inside the Ball State attacking 18, but they backtrack over towards midfield. We are in the 12th minute of this contest, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Stripping away, Ball State controls with Ahern. Delaney Ahern on the near side has Klassen. Ball State, they're being guarded very closely on their defensive third. Why do you think that is?
I think it's kind of going back to what their coach said. Be aggressive. And here's a nice breakaway.
Here we go. Delaney Caldwell, one-on-one with Borgman. Here's a shot on. It's deflected. What a great save that time by Briley Borgman, the goalkeeper for the Chippewas. Ball State does retain possession, but man, what a great save.
Borgman came out, took the risk coming out of the goalie box, and she got the save for the Chippewas.
Caldwell was looking for her second on the day. Again, 1-0 Cardinals. We are about 12 minutes into this one. Cardinals do backtrack yet again. If there was a time of possession stat, so far Ball State would probably be dominating that.
For sure, they have been dominating, like you said, all facets of the game so far, whether it's on the offensive side, but even when it's on the left side of your radio dial, the Chippewas are not touching the ball, and it's pretty much just Ball State resetting.
Melena Troy playing tight defense on the left side. Troy, the transfer from Oakland, coming to Central Michigan for this year. Had a solid career the past 2 seasons as a Bearcat. Looking inside for Ball State, Addie Chester. Now Tori Monaco on the outside of the 18. They backtrack to Chester. Looking for a long opportunity. Goes well out of play, but it's still a live ball on the far touchline. Spano nearly kicks it away for the Chippewas. Caldwell working the tightrope. Now to midfield on that far touch side. Ball State's able to keep it in play, and they go all the way back to the left side of the pitch, their defensive third. About 13 minutes into this one, 1-0 Ball State. Looking to extend their winning streak over the Chippewas to 6. Lexi Watkins has an opening on the outside of the 18. Feet inside, nobody home, however. Monaco was the only one in the general vicinity. She was to the right of the 18, but Borgman, the goalkeeper, got there quicker. They guide it towards midfield, where Fiona Killian for Ball State was able to get a quick touch on it, but this time it's Troy for Central Michigan. Feet inside. DeCampley for Central Michigan, an opening. She's guarded closely by the defensive player in Goodyear. She's tripped up, trying to go into the 18. No whistle called, and it's a Ball State possession. And what great defense that time from Audrey Goodyear.
Yeah, she attacked their one offensive player on that drive and got the ball away.
And Goodyear does it again on DeCampley. Cardinals are being pressured here in their own middle third now, going left to right. Caldwell had an opportunity, but she's pushed away. Olivia Bretz controls it. Central Michigan, like I said earlier, they have the white jerseys, the maroon lettering, but also maroon sleeves on the uniforms. Cardinals going with the same kit in back-to-back games. They wore their reds against UMass, and they do it again today.
Got to have the classic Cardinal and white.
And it's such a big day for Ball State athletics. I mean, you heard it earlier here on SL Digital Radio as Central Michigan has possession on the left side of the pitch, their attacking end. Ball State volleyball playing against Cincinnati over at Worden Arena. I mean, today's just such a big day for Ball State athletics.
Yeah, playing a Big 12 opponent in Cincinnati, unfortunately falling short in 5 sets. But like you said, big day. Volleyball is off to a hot start with big wins over teams like Marquette. And the Cardinals soccer team off to a good start, getting a win over UMass.
And a good start today with a 1-0 lead 15 minutes in. Abby Freese had the touch on that for Central Michigan. She's a freshman, but somehow she's the only Chippewa to start in every match this year.
Well, that just goes to show the roster turnover they had, but also the trust that Coach Groves has been putting into his newcomers, especially the freshmen, not even necessarily a transfer.
And here we go, Central Michigan with Freese. It's deflected out of play by Addie Chester. Chippewas now control. The inbound will come this time from Freese, and a substitution made for Central Michigan. They go to Gabriella Sapia. She comes in on the pitch for Cameron Dunn. Sapia, a senior in her second season as a Chippewa. She was at Madonna, an NAIA school in 2023.
Yeah, it makes sense. She came back to came to Central Michigan. Her mom, Lisa, Central Michigan grad.
Which, hey, again, I'm sure that played a big factor in her recruitment. Jenkins for Ball State gets in front of the free kick right there inside the 18. Nobody was home for Central Michigan. We are 16 minutes into this contest. Ball State with an early 1-0 advantage. It was a goal for Delaney Caldwell. Ball State goes left to right on your radio dial. Big high arcing kick. Abby Freese gets a touch on it for Central Michigan. Cardinals backtrack, though. They go to Fiona Killian. Cardinals, again, they're not afraid to reset. They're not afraid to work backwards if they have to.
That's right, and kind of touching on what I was saying before is even when it's back in the left half of the field, it's still the Cardinals maintaining possession and resetting, like you said. They don't lose the ball very often.
Far end out on the touch line. It is out of play. The question is, it will go in Ball State's favor, and it does. Lexi Watkins wanted a deflection, and she got it. The feed inside for Delaney Caldwell. A quick touch off the chest and a feed over to Isaacson. Greer Isaacson, a freshman who has made such a big impact for Ball State as the Cardinals once again move backwards. Not before Goodyear nearly touches it out of play on the far touch line. You got to be impressed with what Isaacson has done. Kind of like her brother with Ball State men's volleyball, Quinn Isaacson, who's now on the men's volleyball Olympic team for Team USA.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Both Ball State greats, you could say.
You really could, or a great in the making, and for sure,
right,
with Greer Isaacson. That's certainly the hope. Ball State does have a free kick, though, right around midfield, just on top of the center circle and to the left of the pitch. Cardinals leave it up. It's Ahern to keep it up. Caldwell nearly misses the touch, but Chester has it. Looking for Monaco inside, has an opening, kicks it to the left, and it's blocked away by the Chippewa. Central Michigan has possession. But man, Ball State, once again, an opening, just couldn't quite capitalize. Solid stand by Central Michigan.
Yeah, indeed, and they need more of that, especially giving up that goal so early on. And it's very eerily similar to that UMass game. Scoring early, let's see if the Cardinals defense can stay with it for the all 90 minutes.
Milena Troy controls going right to left. Central Michigan has an opening with Gabriella Sapia inside the 18. Tries to pass in. Goodyear deflects it. Delaney Caldwell off of the ricochet.
I love Caldwell coming in, even though she is a forward. She comes all the way back to where the midfielders usually stand just to give the Cardinals possession again.
And the starting lineup, Ball State has 2 forwards in there today with Addie Chester and Delaney Caldwell. Kind of a different look from Central Michigan where they have 3 of their own.
Yeah, Caldwell in that striker position, and she for sure struck already.
Yeah, with her second goal of the season, making it 1-0 Ball State. We have about 26 minutes left in this first half, just getting started. Still anybody's ball game. Alyssa DeCamplia controls going right to left, bottom half of the pitch for Central Michigan. Guarded closely by Monaco, and the handoff, she goes to Gabriella Sapia. Now Rachel Jackson at 17 on 17 as Killian was guarding her. She gets pushed. Opportunity. Ball State intercepts it with Ahern. They were looking for a quick tap inside the 6, but you saw it right there with Delaney Ahern getting a body on it quicker than the Chippewas could. And Ball State, with a stoppage in play, they reset with the goalkeeper and Abby Jenkins.
Alyssa Mella, fantastic defense here on the left side of the field and your radio dial. The sophomore playing well.
Jenkins, with the left foot, she lets it rip. Central Michigan head taps it, and it goes out of play on the near touch line. So Ball State quickly gets it right back. About 25 minutes to go in the first half. Cardinals 1-0 already. They've won their last 2 matches with a score of 1-0. And notably in the last match against UMass, 1-0 win, and they scored in the first 2 minutes. They scored in the first 10 minutes in this one. We'll see if, again, another great defensive performance is en route for a MAC competitor like Central Michigan. There's a touch from Isaacson on the far touch side, the attacking end for Central Michigan. They now have possession.
And just look at the stats so far. 3 shots for Ball State, obviously 1 converted to a goal, none for Central Michigan yet, and that's not even counting shots on goal.
Yeah, not even to account for that. Ball State is just getting more opportunities. Again, we were talking to Coach Stoots yesterday, and he said that one of his keys to the match for his team is to be the more aggressive team and who really wants it more. And that seems to be the case right now.
That's right. Cardinals 100% want it more. They have a pretty decent-sized crowd here today, too, cheering them on.
Yep.
Professors on the pitch day as well. At halftime, we're going to have some of the Ball State professors shooting some PKs.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Probably something I couldn't do myself, but that's besides the fact. Ball State reflects it out of play on the far touch side. Central Michigan once again controlling. So they've kept it on this end of the pitch really for the last couple of minutes, but unable to capitalize quite yet. It's very hard for them to get inside that 18. Like right there, Sophia Spano tried, and it was deflected by Moncrief for Ball State. Now coming away with it is Lexi Watkins on the far touch line. She hands off. Addie Chester opening, tripped up. But getting there first for Central Michigan inside the center circle was Bretz. A free ball, takes 3 bounces and out of play on the left side of the pitch on the touch line. Ball State gets it. Milena Troy tried to save it for the Chippewas, but to no avail.
Again, like you said, most of the time here since that goal, the ball has been on the left side of the field so far, but still no opportunities really yet on goal for the Chippewas.
So here we go. LG Moncrief looking on the far side, guides it over to Lexi Watkins, but it goes out of play before anyone could touch it. So Central Michigan now has it. Moncrief from Frisco, Texas. This is what I find interesting. Ball State, it's not just players from Indiana, even though they have plenty of those in-state recruits. Players really from everywhere. And that goes on both sides. Central Michigan, last year, no international players. This year, they have 3.
Yeah, it definitely shows the new coach coming in, mixing up the roster a little bit, and also talking about not being from Indiana. Delaney Caldwell scored the goal today, has 2 on the year so far. She's from Michigan herself, from Chelsea.
Yeah, and we do have a whistle blown and a timeout, trying to get hydrated, both of these teams. That's such a big factor. With 22 minutes to go in the first half, it's 1-0 Cardinals. Delaney Caldwell was the one to strike for Ball State. So, Sam, we'll keep it right here. I do want to ask you, the heat. It's obviously the big story right here. How are these players, I mean, even with the water breaks you get, how do you continue to keep yourself energized?
Yeah, well, we actually talked to Coach Stoots about this pregame, and he said, although it is going to be hot, it doesn't really change their strategy much. But how do you stay motivated and energized? Well, I just think that goes back to preparation, how these people have trained. This Ball State team is definitely very aggressive. So whatever off-season training they did, whether that was in the spring or the summer, it definitely prepared them to continue to stay energized throughout the scorcher of today.
Yeah, and you mentioned Andy Stoots. I want to talk about him a little bit. What a career he's had. I mean, last 4 seasons as an associate head coach at Missouri. But then he finds himself in the Mid-American Conference with Ball State very late into the process. We caught up with him yesterday in our production meeting, and he was telling us, like, hey, I came in, right when Coach Reif left for IU, and again, props to him. He even talked to Coach Reif and basically said that Reif was telling him all the great things about Ball State. But the tough part here for Coach Stoots was he came into a situation where he only had about 4 weeks left in spring camp.
Right, and it's something very unseen, especially for a soccer coach, but also going back to just his career and where he's been. He even said, when I first started coaching, I was convinced I was going to be a head coach by the age of 30. Now, I'm obviously not going to, I don't even know his age, to be completely honest. Not sure if that's listed on the Athletics website, but he's not 30. He's actually had numerous stops, such as Missouri, Louisville, Minnesota. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, again, he's lived the life of about 5 coaches.
That's
but
right.
Central Michigan, they come out of the timeout with Rachel Jackson opening for Sapia. Could be one-on-one, could be trouble. Gets past a Cardinal, but Ball State gets a foot on it first, that being Goodyear. How about that? Could have been an opportunity. Milena Troy tried to put one on for Central Michigan, but a very slow rolling kick. Easy play for Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins really hasn't had much threatening her yet, but has continued to stay solid so far throughout this first half.
Yeah, Central Michigan, they have threatened, but yet to put a shot really on goal yet. Nothing too threatening as of now. Ball State on their attacking side of the pitch. Emily Roper checks in her senior season. What a great career she's had. The former Carmel Greyhound in high school. Also in on the pitch for Ball State, it's Izzy Ross, the freshman. Such a bright future, kind of like Greer Isaacson. But Ball State and Andy Stoots getting those freshmen some playing time early. Chester has an opening on the attacking third. She's surrounded by a sea of white and maroon. It's taken away by Bretz. Kicks it over to the center line. Roper gets a foot to it. Whistle dead on the play, however. We await the official call. It'll be offsides, is what it appears. But Ball State at the center line, they control it yet again. So Audrey Goodyear will kick it away. She's right dead center on the pitch with about 21 minutes to go in this first half. 1-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, going back to Emily Roper, it's someone you might expect to be, an every game starter for the Cardinals, but there's a good kick in.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity that time for the Cardinals. Central Michigan, they get to it with a quick touch from Liv Moulton. Jeremy Groves, head coach in his 7th season at Central Michigan. He comes from England. Yeah, I find it funny that Liv Moulton, a freshman, she's the first English player in Central Michigan history.
Yeah, you both found that statistic to be pretty eye-opening or jaw-dropping, whatever you want to say. And someone who's also prepared well for the rest of her soccer career. She played for Man United's under-21 team for 4 years, and she comes from, obviously, Manchester, and you can wonder what Manchester team she's a fan of.
Oh, absolutely. I think you basically said it right there.
That's right.
Ball State does reset, though. They're towards their middle third, but on the attacking side, the kick on the far end of the 18 gets deflected back to Fiona Killian. What an interesting road for her. And her 3rd team in her collegiate career, kicked out of play on the goal line, goes off of the Cardinals, so it'll be a goal kick for Central Michigan. Just under 20 minutes to go in the first half. 1-0 Ball State over the Chippewas. Cardinals do make a change. They go to Jess Furno. She checks in for Addie Chester. So Chester, the veteran, getting a much-needed break.
That's right, especially how much she's run up and down the field. She's listed as a forward, but she's listed as both a forward and a midfielder. She kind of acts like a midfielder no matter what she's playing. She's running up and down the pitch. She's hustling.
Yeah, certainly defensively. Yeah, she was listed in the lineup today as a forward, but you are right. She kind of does play that role. It'll be a free kick, though, for Central Michigan after a scruffle over at midfield. Kick on the attacking 18, going right to left. Long, and Jenkins, the goalkeeper, dives out for it. Could have been trouble. Milena Troy was the only competition there for Central Michigan, but the Cardinals get there first.
Yeah, that looks scary for a second, especially with Troy kind of streaming right toward the goal. Obviously, none of these players have scored a goal yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if she got hers. If she was the one to get the first, has 4 shots on goal already.
Yeah, Milena Troy certainly playing aggressive. Ella Betzold right now leads Central Michigan with the most shots on goal on the team with 5. Not in the starting lineup today, oddly enough. Ball State working it, however. They go on the inside looking for Furno. Now Roper with an opportunity. Kicked away by Sapia of the Chippewas. Tripped up, though, Milena Troy, the former Oakland Bearcat. She kicks it away. Long kick. Audrey Goodyear to the outside of the 18, the near touch side, takes 3 hops and over to Sapia yet again. So both teams playing a quicker pace towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, 18 minutes to go. Central Michigan looking like they're playing a little more pep in their step right now.
Yeah, that water break, that timeout, definitely beneficial for the Chippewas. It's hard to imagine even being out there on that pitch right now, but both teams playing with energy and a lot of it. Tori Monaco, she cycles backwards looking for Klassen towards the bottom half of the pitch, left end of it as well on their middle third. Controlling it right now, Delaney Ahern for Ball State. She slowly rolls it up. The kick on the far end. Cardinals have it. It's Annika Klaus making her first appearance of the day. The first time we're calling her name today. Great to see Klaus out there as well. And we know she's had her struggles with injuries in the past as well, but great to see her fully healthy. It's the same thing with Abby Jenkins as Central Michigan has a free kick with the goalkeeper. Again, this is such a big opportunity for Ball State. Fully healthy, ready to go with a new head coach.
Yeah, that's right. And Klaus also 2 shots on goal, 5 shots total. Another person I wouldn't be surprised if we can see get a shot on goal.
Yeah, that's a player that, I mean, by season's end, you would not be surprised if even a couple of times they found the back of the net. Certainly aggressive. Rachel Jackson controls it for the Chippewas on the far touch line on their own defensive third. Ball State threatening, however. High arcing kick towards the Ball State bench, left side of the pitch. Cardinals have it out of bounds. Greer Isaacson will inbound. We were talking about Rachel Jackson, though. In her junior season, as Ball State does make a few substitutions, in her junior season, she's played a new position every year, which I find astounding. Last season, she was a defensive player. The year before that, she was a forward. Now a midfielder this season. Why do you think she's changing it up every season?
Well, honestly, she just kind of reminds me of a utility player in baseball. You know, she can kind of do it all. Maybe she's a really good defender, but has a pretty strong leg. You know, a lot of these college teams, I wouldn't say are the deepest. These professional teams probably have more people to pick and choose from. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's talented at a lot of what each position requires.
Ball State threatening on their attacking side. The quick touch out of play, far side. Central Michigan has it now. 15 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 1-0 Cardinal lead. The inbound from Weed, the Ball State scoreboard right behind her, and an American flag with the wind blowing right to left. Wind blowing in heavily. It's starting to settle down now, but Ball State threatens on the crescent of the 18, and Central Michigan strips it away. A little pickpocket action that time, but on the far deflection, Ball State trying to get it back from with Audrey Goodyear.
Yeah, Isaacson had a really good opportunity right there to put a shot on net. Kind of had a defender in her way and decided to pass on that one.
Kicked out of play near touch line right at midfield. Ball State yet again. It seems like these out-of-bounds plays, it's been the Cardinals that get most of these calls. Ooh, and a big collision that time. Izzy Ross, the freshman, taking it hard with the ball, but on the deflection, the Cardinals tried to get it back. It's kicked away out of bounds by a Chippewa on the near side. It was Abby Freese. We were mentioning it earlier, a freshman who has started in every match. Lydia Hill to inbound for Ball State.
First time we've called her name today.
Yeah, the feed to Furno. In the last 2 matches for Lydia Hill, she has attempted a goal. A freshman, what she's been able to do coming off the bench. It's been impressive for Ball State just to get one on.
Another Ball State player coming from the great state of Michigan.
And there you go. I mean, I wouldn't quite call it a homecoming because we're right here in Muncie, but maybe a little bit of fond memories brought up.
That's right. Romeo High School graduate, 2nd team All-State senior year, 3rd team All-State junior year. She kind of did it all.
Yeah, speaking of Hill, she has an opportunity on the goal line near side. She's in a Coffin's corner. Tries to carve through the defense. Sapia for Central Michigan kicks it away out of play near side. Had she done it on the far end, could have been a corner for Ball State. Would have been their first corner kick of the day. Ball State now working the inside, looking for Roper. Whistle blown inside the 18. Central Michigan has possession.
Yeah, Roper looking to get aggressive there.
Yeah, you got
like it committed a foul, and like you said, going back to the corner kicks, the only corner kick that has happened so far was the Chippewas, and not much came out of it. If memory serves me right, it kind of just went over their heads.
Yeah, right. It didn't quite have that curve to it. Really, it was just head on. Like you were saying, the wind really may have played a factor on that.
And again, the Cardinals have the one goal, but no corner kick yet.
Ball State, they let it rip, a high arcing kick. It goes out of play on the goal line, so it will be a goal kick for Central Michigan. Unless there is a last-second deflection from a Chippewa, there are some changes.
Some substitutions.
Yeah, we got some changes being made as we see DeCampula and Spano check out. Central Michigan, for the first time today, Jimena Perez Ayala and also Ella Dykstra both check in.
Dykstra's a transfer in from Lake Michigan College, which is a junior college. She was second team all-conference there.
Again, you can really never underestimate where you can find talent from. Jeremy Groves finding a diamond in the rough in Dykstra. Perez Ayala, a freshman, the first Hispanic, or I should say the first player from Mexico in Central Michigan history. So it's a year of first when it comes to international talent. We were mentioning it earlier with Liv Moulton, the first English player from the Chippewas, and now the first player from Mexico.
That's right, and just showing players from different states, different countries. It's pretty very diverse team, and I'm sure they have a lot of cool stories of where they grew up and how life was different.
Yeah, on that near side, it is Perez Ayala working it to Dykstra. Nearly steps out of bounds on the touch line. Whistle is blown, however, and it looks like they finally make the call. Ball State has it on the left side of the pitch. It'll be their own defensive third, where it's Jordan Klassen to inbound.
Dykstra was not happy with that call. Was indeed a little bit delayed, but nonetheless, I think the official made the correct call.
Yeah, because it was right in our vantage point. It was right on the white line. Her foot stepped. Emily Roper, the handoff to Jess Furno. She dribbles right to left inside the center circle. Ball State controls with Kaylin Vallow. First time we're calling her name today. Ball State quick step. Vallow again. To the far side, Cardinals have a little bit of an opening. And a free ball awarded to Central Michigan. The stoppage in play. It'll be offsides.
Been a couple of those stoppages of these Cardinal attacks and has kind of been stifling their offense so far. Other than that first goal, we haven't really seen a lot from the Cardinals on the offensive side.
And we really haven't seen that as much. Now Central Michigan, Ball State playing a little bit of a press on that defensive third. So Sam, right now, with Central Michigan yet to score a goal all season, now we have a stoppage right around midfield. Perez Ayala, she gets whistled up on that one, a foul committed, so Ball State controls right around midfield. So now, Sam, I mean, do you think there's a little bit of, how do I put this when it comes to Central Michigan, a little bit of desperateness at this point in the season for one to score a goal, but also to win a match?
Definitely maybe to score a goal. Win a match, not sure, especially with how much roster turnover their team just had. But I can definitely see if there was some desperateness, especially when it comes to scoring a goal, because obviously that's the main objective in soccer, and they've yet to have that happen. But I think if they just continue to play their game, it'll eventually come to them.
Furno shot on well outside the 18, goes over the crossbar atop of the net now. But Jess Furno getting aggressive from way downtown, unable to land it though.
That one was kind of just like a free ball you see in volleyball. Not much directional passing to that one. Kind of just hit it up in the air a little bit, but you never know.
And that was her first shot attempt of the year. So yeah, way to get aggressive right there in the final 10 minutes of the first half, where Ball State leads 1-0. Going right to left, Central Michigan moves. Vallow of the Cardinals comes away with it, but she's tripped up on the top of the center circle. Now Moulton of the Chippewas. She looks for Weed, tripped up on the far touchline, walking that tightrope. Ball State has it, guarded by DeCampula, grabbing the arm of Isaacson, but no whistle blown. It's a barrage of white and red and a little pile there on the far touchline, but Ball State, they're able to come away with it out of bounds. Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Cardinals looking to head into halftime with a 1-0 advantage. Maybe looking for two, however, as they're attacking on the outside of the 18. Taken away by Abby Freese. Long kick out of play, far touchline.
Again, another attack from the Cardinals right there. Stolen right in the bottom, the deep right side corner. again, not much they've been able to do ever since that goal.
Yeah, really not much you can do. With Ball State now, it's Izzy Ross. With the right leg, she controls. Tries to put one on. It's wide left and a diving effort for Briley Borgman. Would have been wide left regardless, a slow roller, but she put her body on the line to get a hold of that one. Briley Borgman, 24 saves on the season, including a pair today. Jess Furno is stripped away. Now Ross, the feed inside, but nobody home. Central Michigan, they now control a little pickpocket action with Jackson. She's tripped up with a whistle blown before they could have an opportunity with that being Ball State. Yeah, noticeably on the pitch right now, Sam, a lot of youth. Delaney Caldwell getting a breather right now. Addie Chester getting a breather. We're seeing a lot of freshmen, a lot of underclassmen right now to kind of wrap up this first half.
Yeah, and it's something you might see as the season progresses, especially as the season progresses, I should say, especially considering Chester is a senior, the same with Caldwell, and those are the team's two really leaders, however you want to look at it.
That one was kicked out of play that time. It'll be a corner kick for Central Michigan on their attacking side. It'll be Rachel Jackson. She is to the left of the goalkeeper in Jenkins, the left side of the pitch, the top left corner.
Second corner of the game for Central Michigan so far.
This is big. She lets it rip. The setup, the tap from Freese, it goes over the crossbar, over the net, out of play.
And again, one of those shots that kind of just drifted in the wind again. That one might have been going back into the wind a little bit, although the wind is moving left to right on your radio dial. And again, another missed opportunity. They've had double the corner kicks that the Cardinals have. More than that, 100% more, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, too, as Abby Jenkins kicks it away for Ball State going left to right on the far end, the thing that I find interesting is I thought that was a really good pass that time from Rachel Jackson, looking for Abby Freese. Maybe a little bit too strong on that head tap. Could be the case as it's poked out of bounds, far touch side.
She also could have caught on the wrong part of her head as that one kind of flew high rather than toward the goal.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with the head, because I know with the foot, you try to get it on the hard bone of your foot, and that applies not just to soccer, but also to kicking football, stuff like that. But when it comes to a head tap, I don't know what the exact spot on the head you want to really get it on.
I think it's more with the crown of the head.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You definitely, the top of the head works, but keep it clear of your,
Yeah, Ball State nearly getting tripped up with Caitlin Vallow, and nobody was even in her vicinity. It was the Turf Monster. The Turf Monster is present here in Muncie, Indiana, Sam.
Indeed it is.
But Ball State, no harm, no foul. They have possession yet again towards midfield, but the Chippewas do come away with it. At the center line, stripped by Izzy Ross, the freshman making a big play. It's a driving lane, trying to carve through the defense. A slow rolling kick, nobody inside the 18 for Ball State, however. It'll be Briley Borgman, the goalkeeper, with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Ball State, 1-0 lead over Central Michigan.
I love that combo of Furno and Izzy Ross playing ahead like that. Probably too early of a pass from Ross, but it wouldn't have been offside had Furno got to it. Love the aggressiveness.
Hey, and if you're a Ball State fan, another reason to love that combination, a pair of freshmen,
That's
you know
right.
it.
That's right.
Hey, we both said it. I mean, hey, smart minds think alike, Sam. Near side, Lydia Hill, big collision, pushed as Hill. That time, Olivia Brett's colliding with her. They go with the ladder, however, in Central Michigan to inbound it. But, man.
Yeah, and Brett's is not someone you want to lose to injury had she gotten injured on that play. One of the leaders, especially in that middle portion of the field for the Chippewas.
As Central Michigan, though, they make some changes. Looks like it'll be Aaliyah Pena to come in this matchup. Then you got Evie Brown.
First time we're saying both their names.
Yeah, going deeper into the bench is really both teams, which is something maybe you don't see quite as often in MAC play, but we're seeing it today. That one goes out of bounds off of Central Michigan on the goal line, so the Cardinals have a goal kick with about 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first half. The clock's still ticking, 1-0 Ball State.
Great attack there from Pena. She got a great pass on the left side of the goalie's box, wasn't able to convert, but she attacked in right away, coming straight off the bench. Love the aggressiveness from the sophomore out of Salem Hills High School in Utah.
Hey, Utah, I mean, again, these players really come from everywhere. There's no limits. I mean, there are other sports where maybe a state doesn't have really what they need, and it's not quite as prevalent over there. But soccer, I mean, this is an international sport, I should say, and really all over the U.S.
Most popular game in the world as well. Got the World Cup coming up here in the United States soon.
Oh, man, you're just getting me juiced up, Sam. Very excited for when that time comes. But right dead at 3 minutes, Central Michigan looking to attack towards the center circle. Ball State cycles backwards, going left to right on your radio dial. Audrey Goodyear, it's the handoff on the far end. She has Ahern. I mean, what a great performance so far for Ahern. Ball State, they moving quickly inside the 18. Shot on into the hands directly on a line drive kick of the goalkeeper, Borgman. What a great opportunity that time for Ball State and Klaus, but unable to get anything there.
Yeah, great save. Although it was hit right at her, you still got to save the ball, and Borgman did her job.
It was the equivalent of a fair catch that time. But still a great effort. I mean, again, those line drives, those are off the foot very hard. A reset, though, for Central Michigan. It's Abby Freese. They work backwards with Borgman. Now 2 minutes to go in the first half, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Central Michigan looking to muster up anything going into halftime. And what's been really a defensive grudge match so far with only one goal scored. It came from Delaney Caldwell of the Cardinals. Pena controls for Central Michigan. Into the attacking third they go. Goodyear deflects it away. Sliding kick, Ball State. Roper gets it for the Cardinals. In a way, Moulton with a touch on the head in the center circle. Far side, Ball State now works. They go with Annika Klaus. She's pushed back, and they has to go to Greer Isaacson.
You see, even with only 1:30 to go, the Cardinals are still being aggressive. They're attacking the ball first before the Chippewas get there. Again, kind of just going back to what Coach Andy Stoots was preaching.
Yeah, again, it's like he said, who wants it more? And I'm going to say it right now. I think both teams are really playing like they want this. On the near end, they inbound it. It's Jimenez Perez Ayala. She backs into the 18, but she backtracks, guarded by Goodyear, who's been a defensive menace, and like that, she pickpockets it for Ball State. She has been, like I said, a defensive menace today. Lydia Hill pushed out of bounds on the near side, that time being by Sapia. Under a minute to go now, 45 seconds, the clock ticking. Ball State looking to round out this first half, go into the locker room happy with a 1-0 advantage. Central Michigan now, Perez Ayala at midfield. Vallow tried to get the takeaway, but to no avail. Ball State double teams. They go up top to the pitch, guiding it over to Milena Troy. Izzy Ross, the freshman, guards closely, takes 2 hops towards the goal on a long kick, and Jenkins is able to collect it. Under 20 seconds to go in the first half. Jenkins just standing there and taking her time, letting this clock run out. About 10 seconds to go. High arcing kick. That'll take a couple seconds off. It's head tapped by the Chippewas. Ross, the touch over to Klaus. On the near touch line and out of play. And that'll do it for the first half of action. Ball State, a 1-0 lead over Central Michigan. Like I said earlier, Sam, it's been a grudge match, but so far, what have been your takeaways?
Yeah, my takeaways have been how aggressive the Cardinals offense have been. 6 shots, half of those being on goal. Obviously converting on one of the goals so far. And yeah, they've just been incredibly aggressive.
Yeah, we will be right back with more halftime coverage. You're listening to Ball State SportsLink Soccer on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Ranked number 1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State Sports Link with Sports Link Digital Radio.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
Back from the pitch, it's halftime. The Ball State Cardinals, a 1-0 lead over the Central Michigan Chickasaws. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by Sam Klug. It was a fun first half for Cardinal fans. A 1-0 lead. Delaney Caldwell got one into the back of the net. But for you, Sam, what, in your eyes, will it take for Ball State to finish the job in the second half?
Keep attacking, especially on the offensive side. They've been pretty good so far. Obviously, like I said, 6 shots, 3 of those on goal, converting one of those to a goal from a Delaney Caldwell early shot. But yeah, continue attacking the ball like Coach Andy Stoots was preaching so much in our meeting.
Yeah, and also, here's what stands out to me. For Central Michigan, 2 corner kicks. Ball State, none. However you look at the score, but the Chippewas have really gotten that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly, and they need more of those, especially to have a chance to get that goal. And again, we go back, they haven't had a goal all season yet. So they need as many chances as they can get, as we have some professors going against Charlie Cardinal right now.
Yeah, doing some PKs. I saw Max Van Dongen, the guy we both had. His didn't quite go his way. Oh.
Charlie, 2 for 2 on saves so far.
There we go. Hey, he might be getting a contract soon. Who knows? There's a slow roller to him. I guess that's 3.
3 for 3. Charlie, man. He might be coming for Abby Jenkins' job.
God, maybe. Manchester United, give this man a call. But here's the thing, though, Sam. Ball State, 1-0 lead right now. They've gotten aggressive early. What's it going to take now for them, even though, it's so hot right now. It's the heat really pounding on. How do you stay motivated and finish this job?
Well, I think it goes back to their training and also being 1-0 in the MAC and wanting to maintain that 2-0 record, especially with how competitive the MAC is going to be this year. Beating a team that's already pretty good in UMass and, wanting to continue that undefeated record. Also, another thing is you have a great crowd out here. And again, like Coach Andy Stoots was saying, you have a lot of seniors on your team who this is probably their last year playing competitive soccer. And you want to do it for a lot of the seniors and leaders on your team.
Hey, you really do. Andy Stoots said it to the seniors. It's funny to me. He's talked to about all of the players, really, for about 30 to 40 minutes each when he got hired. I think that speaks volumes about who Coach Stoots is as a person. And he told all the seniors, all the graduate students, hey, I want to make this the best year of Ball State soccer that you have experienced. And man, off to a great start. They're about 45 minutes away from going to 5-2-1, but we have a long ways to go before we go to that point, especially when it's only a 1-0 game right now.
That's right. And if you just look at who has taken the shots so far for the Cardinals, obviously Delaney Caldwell is up there. She's been the leader so far. Addie Chester, though, only 1 shot, does have the assist, but still that only 1 shot. And you might think, oh, you'd think she would have more, but no, only 1 so far on the day. Probably going to be looking for more from her, especially being the leader she is and how many points she scored on the year so far.
Yeah, and it's especially surprising when she enters the day with 22 shot attempts. So it seems like she's due for more in the second half. I mean, hey, she was spreading the love. She had the assist to Delaney Caldwell.
Yep.
So right now for Central Michigan, if there's one takeaway we do want to mention, other than the goal given up, what a great performance by goalkeeper Briley Borgman, who has 3 saves so far. If you're a Central Michigan, how do you ease up the pressure on her?
Yeah, I think you continue to feed it, especially to Mulaney Troy. She has 2 shots. Both of them were on goal, and she played all 45 minutes. Now, she might be pretty exhausted, especially as a midfielder who runs up and down the floor, or excuse me, the pitch, I should say. But she's someone you want to feed and get more chances on goal.
Yeah, obviously, the 2 big names for Ball State are Delaney Caldwell and Addie Chester. They weren't quite as prevalent in the final 20 minutes of the first half. Do you think that was done by design by Coach Stoots to have them fresh for half number 2?
100%. I mean, you look, Chester only played 26 minutes in that first half. Caldwell even less with 23, which is, you might look at that and be like, man, did they get injured or something? But that was definitely done on purpose. I keep mentioning it, but we did talk to him kind of about the heat, and he said it doesn't really change our strategies, although other than, the conditioning and the hydration they probably participated in before and leading into this game.
Yeah, hydration certainly key in the matchup like this. But for Ball State now, in order to move 2-0 in the MAC, it's got to be another tough defensive battle. So to hold these Central Michigan Chippewas to none in that first half, how do they continue that? But at the same time, what's gone their way defensively?
Yeah, it's just been kind of that possession of the ball. They've been able to keep it pretty well. The ball has only spent 10% of the time here, and they're 25% of the field all the way down to the right. They've been pretty good at keeping it out, and when they don't have it, keeping it more toward the middle of the field and not allowing the Chippewas to really set up anything offensively.
Yeah, with about 6 minutes to go until the halftime break. For you, Sam, who were some of the players that really stood out to you?
Yeah, especially on the Ball State side. Obviously, Caldwell and Chester are going to be the 2. But I want to talk about Izzy Ross, the freshman coming off the bench. She already has a shot at win on goal, and she played a solid 22 minutes. She does have 1 foul to her name, but she's been someone who's just been running up and down the field, and you always don't expect that, especially from a freshman. But she's been super impressive. She's played in all 7 and now 8 of these games. And yeah, she's played in about 324 minutes now of total of this season. Really good minutes for a freshman.
Yeah, the freshmen for Ball State, especially like we talked about earlier with Chester and Caldwell, kind of taking a back seat towards the end of the half. The freshmen, I'm talking mainly about players like Jess Furno, who maybe have not gotten the playing time previously in the season that they would have wanted. Same with Izzy Ross, but they showed out in the opportunities they got.
That's right, and they're going to get more of those opportunities, especially with the turnover Ball State will have here in this next coming season. I mean, you think of Abby Jenkins, she's a grad student. You think of Chester and Caldwell, both seniors. And then you also, and Emily Roper to add to that, we also think even in next year's class, Audrey Goodyear's a junior, Delaney Ahern's a junior. So the team is getting older, but they've also been able to replace them with star-studded freshmen and people who I hope are around for a long time.
And that's what makes good programs great. That's what Josh Reif built and what Andy Stoots hopes to continue. Here's what I find interesting. Looking at the MAC preseason poll, Ball State was projected 11th. But right now, I mean, sure, 1 MAC game in, they're second, really defying all expectations. Didn't make the MAC tournament last year, but so far really exceeding the preseason expectations put upon them.
100%. Even some of those preseason games they've played, like the ones against Butler and maybe even IU Indy. Getting those wins and obviously the draw versus Butler is a little different, but that's super good, especially for their program. If they would have lost that one to Butler, not as good on the resume, and they've been, like you said, defying expectations. And also some of the teams that are near the bottom are teams that are expected to have good seasons, such as UMass. Like you said, they had a first-place vote. They have not started the season very well. 2-3-2 overall and 0-1 in the conference.
Yeah, and sure, it is tough to look. I mean, it's really tough to look at the standings at this point in the season, especially with only one MAC win or one MAC game under your belt. But then you're going up against Kent State on Sunday as well. Not to look too far ahead, but they're 2-3 on the season. This is going to be, on paper, a bit of a tougher challenge, but you can't look down on the Chippewas at all.
Oh, absolutely not. Especially Kent State. They have three ties on the year, or draws, I should say, on the year as well. So a lot of games that also could have gone their way. Kent State lost their first MAC game of the year, but definitely going to be a harder competition, have that better record than Central Michigan, and also they're scoring goals.
Yeah, and Sam, going into half number 2, what are your keys for a Ball State win or for a Central Michigan comeback win?
Yeah, for Central Michigan, convert some of those tap passes that happen more in the center half of the field into plays where you can get the ball on their side of the attacking 20 and really pepper that goal. I mean, Abby Jenkins has only let in 4 goals so far this year, but who knows, maybe one will go in. She has a 114 goal against average, so averaging about a goal a game.
And we're going to take it to a quick commercial break. When we come back, it'll be second half action between the Cardinals and Chippewas. You're listening to Ball State Soccer on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Hadassah Harris with CBS's WLFI 18, a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State SportsLink and presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie, or visit victorymuncie.com. But second half action underway. Milena Troy will kick it away for Central Michigan. She's in the dead center of the center circle. Ball State a 1-0 advantage. And here we go, we're underway. Olivia Brett's getting aggressive already. They move left to right on your radio dial. The Cardinals, they now control it inside their own defensive third. A 1-0 Cardinal lead. This is a matchup where Ball State has really dominated in all compartments, especially defensively.
Yeah, and it's also good to see Delaney Caldwell back out there. Scored the 1 goal so far today. Kind of took a break the second half of that first half, and now she's back out.
That's kind of what we suspected, though, is that players like Chester, who played 26 minutes in the first half, Caldwell, who played 23, getting a breather, letting the freshmen show up and show out, and giving them an opportunity to be fresh in half number 2. Ball State, they're threatening in the attacking third, looking for Lexi Watkins. A head tap misses it all. It's collected by Kylie Weed of the Chippewas, but quickly intercepted by Moncrief. However, it's whistled dead as Weed was tripped up that time by Watkins, so a free reset that time for Central Michigan. Brett's at midfield. She works backwards, however. Instead of a booming kick, she goes over to Abby Freese, working upwards the pitch. Rachel Jackson controls. High, arcing, booming on the far touch side and out of play.
With the exception of that play, I kind of like the strategy Central Michigan is taking so far. Instead of, like you said, booming it down the field, maybe actually going backwards to reset your offense. Try to get anything going. Because like we've been saying, other than 2 shots on goal, nothing has really happened.
Yeah, and the same goes for Ball State. I mean, really both teams are playing a great defensive contest. However, it was Ball State that got that one big opening with Delaney Caldwell in the first 10 minutes of this contest. However, Central Michigan, they're still threatening. It's a 1-0 Cardinal lead, about 3 minutes now going into this second half.
I do wonder at times if that's a strategy Coach Stoots goes for. If it's score early and defend.
That could be. Maybe we see more aggressive play in the first half, and then the second half really just lay it all out defensively. Lexi Watkins has an opening for Ball State going right to left. It's going to be 2-on-1. The handoff to Caldwell just outside the 18. Watkins wide open on the outside of the 18 towards the bottom half of the pitch. Here's a shot put on the right side. A head tap. It slowly rolls inside the 6 and collected by the goalkeeper, Borgman.
Didn't end in a goal, but how about the hustle from Lexi Watkins? I think it goes to show she is one of the fastest players in this program and probably within the 2 programs. She's probably one of the faster players, and yeah, she speeded up there, got a great pass from her teammates, and they had a great opportunity right there.
They really did. Watkins, an Indiana native from Lawrenceburg, went to East Central High School.
Yeah, and she even redshirted last year. This is her first actual year of playing.
Yeah, and again, she's really made the most of it, as you can already see. Had the only goal in the last matchup against UMass, and that was in the first 2 minutes as well.
It's funny, Roen, I was talking about her speed. I have in my notes, her nickname is literally Turbo.
A free kick goes right into the arms of Abby Jenkins, the goalkeeper for the Cardinals, going left to right. It was, again, right in there with a line drive, Jenkins getting it done.
When you have those line drives, what you really need, especially from a Chippewa offensive standpoint, you need some deflections, some screening of the goalie, some confusion.
Yeah, everyone was atop of the 18. She was able to get past. Watkins one-on-one, kicked away by Borgman. Had an opportunity, just couldn't quite get there. It's kicked out of bounds. A deflection. Ball State has it on the near touch line. Lexi Watkins maybe going for her second goal of the season right there, but Borgman got in front of it.
Yeah, Turbo going after it again. Again, I think she might have gotten a piece of it as well, although it was a Ball State throw-in, so must have not. But, man, even when it looks like the goalie's going to have it, she's attacking it.
Hey, in this game, to have the nickname Turbo, that's such a great honor.
Indeed it is. It's also a pretty good movie.
Is it? Caldwell puts one on. It gets through. Not quite, though. Watkins on a deflection. Off the left side. Man. Almost got through for Caldwell. Nobody was even guarding the goal as Borgman was out of front.
That hit the post twice, Roen. That was insane.
Yeah, that was wild. As Delaney Caldwell went wide right, it almost looked like it went through. Off a deflection, Watkins had to put one on. It went off the post to the left. So now about 5 minutes into the second half, 2 shots on goal, but it's only 1-0 Cardinals.
Talk about catching the defense sleeping. The whole defense for the Chippewas was nowhere to be found. And, man, talk about an opportunity.
If you're a Central Michigan fan, you take a big sigh of relief right there. The fact that this is still a 1-0 matchup. Big collision, and then there's the X thrown up by the official. There is a Cardinal down at midfield. A stoppage in play. They stop the clock at 39 minutes and 57 seconds. Cardinal is down. Tripped up. It was a big collision. It's Greer Isaacson, the freshman. However, she is helped up by Audrey Goodyear.
We also had a yellow card there on the play. Not sure who they served it to.
Yeah, That is hard to tell. I guess it was whoever collided with Isaacson. But yeah, we saw our first yellow card of the day. That was a bit of an issue for Central Michigan against Ohio.
It's on Kylie Weed, unsporting.
Yeah, again, kind of going towards the bottom half of the body with that collision. Good thing is Isaacson is all right, and she's still out on the pitch. Free kick for Ball State into the 18. Lexi Watkins resets on the outside of it. High kick collected by Moulton off the head for Central Michigan. They reset with Ball State with Moncrief. Watkins cycling backwards. The feed over to Killian. Now Vallow. Moulton tried to pickpocket, but unable to do so. On the outside of the 18, towards the goal line. Killian to keep it alive. Caldwell wide left on the shot on. Great feed that time from Fiona Killian, but unable to get anything going there is Delaney Caldwell, but still putting one on.
Oh, yeah. Great attack right there from the Cardinals. I love the aggressiveness, and I kind of retract my statement when I said before. Maybe Coach Stoots was like, hey, we're gonna go out in the second half even more aggressive than we have ever been.
That could be the case. Because, again, you're never really satisfied with just one goal. You never really can be. Again, that's still not a great cushion to have. Central Michigan with Kylie Weed, a head tap. She had the yellow card deferred on her earlier, and she taps it out of bounds on the near side. The inbound for Ball State, they go to Caldwell, but instead Weed gets ahead on it. Killian working backwards to Moncrief. With the right foot, Watkins puts it in reverse, but Freese gets there for Central Michigan. Moncrief attacking in the middle third. High pop-up and a whistle blown. It'll go in Central Michigan's favor. But, man, Ball State, it was offsides on that call right there. With about 7 minutes to go in the second half, it's still 1-0. A lot of opportunities early. When do you think, if at all, it'll pay off?
Man, it could be next minute or it could be the very end of the game. You never know with this offense. Because of how much the Chippewa defense has fluctuated as well. One time it looked like kind of they were caught sleeping, but the other time they look alive. So it depends, but I think it could be very soon.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, this is a sport where patience is key in a sense. As Ball State, they have an opportunity on their defensive third to get a hold of possession, and they do just that with Jordan Klassen steamrolling it ahead to Delaney Caldwell, who has played every minute of this second half thus far. About 8 minutes into it. Still 1-0 Ball State, and she's put 2 on goal in this second half alone. Had the goal in the first half as well. Delaney Caldwell, I mean, where she ranks in the record books. I mean, what an astounding career for her at Ball State. Central Michigan with a little bit of an opening, but you're looking at 6th all-time in points, 4th all-time in assists, and then also in the point department, 8th all-time in goals. So Delaney Caldwell, what a great career at Ball State. And again, not over yet. Still the senior season ahead.
Yeah, and sometimes I think she can get overlooked, especially with Addie Chester's performance and the fact that she is from Muncie. So you want to honor all your fantastic players that you've brought through the program.
Again, so many great players. I mean, last year, Avery Fenchel, who just graduated. I mean, she did some great things in her Ball State career.
All-time goal leader.
Yep, you know it. About 9 minutes into the second half, it's 1-0 Cardinals. They lob it up in. Delaney Caldwell in the bottom half of the pitch. She's surrounded by a sea of white and maroon. Sophia Spano comes away with it. However, Isaacson gets aggressive, and it's a whistle blown. Tripped up that time around. It was Spano. She gets up. She hobbles away. Hopefully everything all right. It'll be a free kick for Central Michigan. She seems to be fine now, but at the same time, you got to be a little bit wary of that.
Yeah, Isaacson did not seem happy with that call either.
Here we go. Olivia Bretz to kick it away. Everyone lined up on the left side of the 18. Lets it rip. Curls on, 1 on goal, right into the hands of Jenkins, the goalkeeper for the Cardinals.
That one wasn't going in anyway, but again, great job by Jenkins to be there. She's played a fantastic ball game so far.
Oh, indeed she has. The mobility really on display, even on a play like that, to have the right footwork to be in position for a ball. Long arcing kick from Jenkins. Abby Freese for Central Michigan gets a hold of it. She kicks high. Ball State gets possession. Lexi Watkins on the attack now. Outside of the 18. Goes with a curler inside. Shot on the left side. Looks like it probably went off a Chippewa in Sapia.
I think so.
Yeah, and
almost looked like Ball State kind of kicked that one, but I think you're right. I think it went off at Chippewa.
It did not actually. Unfortunately, it did not for Ball State at least, as Central Michigan does have possession. That being Briley Borgman, the goalkeeper. Going into that first half, she had 3 saves. I mean, again, what a great day for her, but still a 1-0 Ball State lead. You're looking at 25 saves, including today on the season. It's popped up Caldwell with a headpiece. Now Lexi Watkins tried to get ahead, but she loses her footing, and Central Michigan gets it right back with Gabriella Sapia.
Man, Watkins had a great chance to get ahead there and have a shot on goal.
Betzold tries to carve her way through the defense. Gets past Roper, not quite. Clamping her up, shot on, diving effort by Jenkins. Gets the save for Ball State. How about that for Abby Jenkins?
What a save, including today. She's got 47 on the year, and again, remaining perfect in this game and keeping the Chippewas from having even 1 goal so far.
Audrey Goodyear was trying to get that stop, almost did. Probably gave enough time for Jenkins to get in position, but nonetheless, Ball State, they have it back on their own defensive third with Goodyear. She kicks it away on the far touchline, right side of the pitch. Central Michigan moving left to right on your radio dial. We're 12 minutes into the second half, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Some changes being made for both teams. Ball State, they go with Jess Furno. And for Central Michigan, they go with Ella Dykstra. We mentioned it earlier, Dykstra from Lake Michigan College, a JUCO. Again, you can find talent just about anywhere. And I think that's something that Jeremy Groves, especially this season, really prides in, the international talent that he really didn't have last year. He really had to hit the transfer portal and just recruiting in general hard after losing 15 players. But Central Michigan, Dykstra one-on-one. Here's the kick on, and it's well over the goal and out of bounds. Man, Dykstra had the opening, but instead puts too much mustard on the shot.
That's right, and they need to cut down on those if they really want to find the back of the net, because these are great opportunities the Cardinals are giving them, and nothing has hit home yet.
Yeah, not quite. Here we go, Abby Jenkins with 32 minutes to go in this contest, 1-0 Ball State. The Cardinals, like we were saying earlier, had a pair of opportunities. We thought maybe Caldwell had one, but it was just wide right. And here we go. Cardinals on a free kick. They let it fly towards midfield. Cardinals in that center circle, working it with Lexi Watkins. Foul is called. Central Michigan resets. Abby Freese to take a few steps back. And the goalkeeper in Briley Borgman goes all the way out to midfield for this one.
Something seems a little risky, but it's probably not, especially how experienced a lot of these players are compared to myself.
Here she goes, kicks it away into the 18, Milena Troy with the head tap. Spano, it's pushed away for Ball State in Moncrief, but right back with it is Ella Betzold. Sapia, the feed inside to the 18. Now Jackson, kicked away by the Cardinals, looking for Watkins. It's off of Chippewa. It is off of Weed, so Ball State comes away with that one with possession on the near touchline.
Another fantastic stand by the Cardinal defense. Again, proving to be aggressive.
So on that near side, Weed, she's able to create the separation. It's out of bounds against Ball State. Weed the inbound to Abby Freese with about 31 minutes to go in this first half of action, or second half of action, I should say, with 1-0 Ball State. Sapia on the far side, she's looking for DeComplia, but it's out of play, goes to Ball State. Now the Cardinals inbound on the far touch side, and they let it rip. Delaney Caldwell off of the head, and now you go to Abby Freese. She kicks it on over to Central Michigan, and for Freese, a freshman who defensively, again, she's had a solid day, and that's what's really been all season, a real bright spot.
Indeed it has, and that's something the Cardinals need.
And now Ball State off of the chest area of Isaacson. Chippewas move quick now with Ella Betzel, not in the starting lineup today, but still making her impact known off of the bench. Long shot, the tap on the 6. Does it get through? It does! That's the first goal of the season for Central Michigan, and it belongs to Milena Troy. We're knotted up at ones.
And man, you can hear the crowd. We got some Chippewa fans in attendance. That's a big goal for the program, the morale, whatever you want to call it. There's some serious celebrating going on right now.
However, there is a Cardinal down, but look at that. Central Michigan, their first goal of the season. That was the big storyline. And do you think that eases some pressure off of them now that you finally got some points on the board?
Oh, 100%. I mean, 100% as our injured Cardinal begins to walk off the pitch, and it looks like Roper's going to come in for her. But yeah, a morale booster, a momentum mover, whatever you want to call it. The Chippewas are back in business, and this game is tied with plenty of time to go.
Yeah, Ball State falling victim to the first goal of the year. Cardinals make a barrage of changes. Izzy Ross comes into the matchup. And now, I mean, again, we have the injured Cardinal being escorted off. Hopefully everything all right. That's obviously the hope. Didn't quite see what happened, but it was right on the goal play with Milena Troy. And here we go, Izzy Ross. A high arcing kick inside to the 18, but Abby Freese gets there first for Central Michigan with a head tap. So now the Cardinals working inside. Freese, she pops it up inside the center circle. Central Michigan with their first goal of the year. And no shocker that goes to Milena Troy, who's had the most shots on goal today for the Chippewas. Freese, she kicks it well out of play on the near touch line, all the way probably to the track.
And I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I said Troy already had 4 shots on goal. I wouldn't have been surprised had a goal come off her foot, and I think I put it into existence.
I think this is your way of tooting your own horn.
That's right.
Out of play near touch line, out almost passed on Hearn, but goes past her. It's Ball State possession, 29 minutes to go. We are all knotted up at ones. Back pass is Moncrief. She lets it rip to Lexi Watkins on the outside of the 18. She's in the Coffin's corner on the bottom left. Gets past one defender, carving through the defense to the 18. Pops one up inside the 6. Tries to go in reverse, but it goes out of play. Lydia Hill, the last touch for Ball State. It'll be a goal kick for the Chippewas.
Good attacking there, especially by Lexi Watkins. Again, speeding down to the left-hand side corner, the near side one, but nothing comes from it.
Now Briley Borgman. A deep breath and a kick away on the right side of the 6. Lets it fly in the air. Past Watkins of the Cardinals. Emily Roper, she gets a body to it. Jackson now walking the tightrope near touch line. Central Michigan with possession. They look to attack. 0-7. That's the big number for them. They look to right all the wrongs here in Muncie today. It's off of Dykstra for Central Michigan near side. Unless they say a Cardinal touched it, but that is not the case. They now go towards that corner to inbound with Greer Isaacson, the bottom right corner, just to the left of it. Looking for Roper, unable to get quite there. Jess Furno tried to get a foot to it, but instead it's Rachel Jackson. They direct it up to the top side of the pitch. Inside the 18 is Dykstra. She's surrounded by a sea of Cardinal red. A pop-up in the 6. There are a couple of Chippewas there, but it goes too long. It's out of play on the goal line. Ball State holding their breath there.
I think the Chippewas are playing with a lot more urgency now. Kind of like getting the chip, I guess you could say, off your shoulder.
You know what? I'll give you credit for that one. That was a solid pun.
But again, they're playing with urgency. They finally got that first goal. They know what it feels like to score, especially this team because there's so many new players back together. New players for their first time playing together, I should say. And it's a big goal for them as a program.
Yeah, Central Michigan now inbounds on the near touch line. You mentioned it, yes. A lot of new faces, and it always takes time to come together. For Ball State, they have quite a bit of returners. Goes off of Lexi Watkins and back over to Kylie Weed of Central Michigan towards the central part of the pitch on the right side, the attacking end for the Chippewas. Troy, she has an opening. tries to go inside the 18. They cycle back. Roper tried to get a foot to it, but instead it's Liv Moulton in the center circle for the Chippewas. Ball State intercepts with Isaacson. Free ball up top and way back for Central Michigan to control. Intercepted by Roper with the head tap. Ball State inside the 18. Furno gets a foot to it. It's out of play, going backwards to the near touch line. Ball State, however, does have possession on their attacking third with about 26 minutes to go in this contest and a 0-0 game at 1. Or I should say 1-1 game. Long kick, looking for the goal, wide right. Ball State had the opportunity with LG Moncrief, but not enough.
Finally getting some Cardinal attacking minutes there. It had been a minute since this team had attacked, even on the left side of your radio dial on that side of the field.
Yeah, and props to Central Michigan for creating that opportunity for themselves. Many of them, as you see right there, suffocating defense on the Cardinals on the right side of the pitch. It does draw a whistle, so Ball State has an opportunity to reset with Jordan Klassen with about 25 minutes to go in a 1-1 contest.
Look at Lexi Watkins over here, wide open. Not going to go to her, though.
Yeah, they go into the crowd yet again, but there is an opening for Ball State. Hill, it's blocked by Borgman, the goalkeeper, moving up top. Ball State does still have possession, but Central Michigan kicks it away inside the 18. Man, Lydia Hill had the opening, but just not enough again.
What a play by Borgman, and she has played a flawless game ever since those first 7.5 minutes. Yeah, just another great save coming out, risking or putting her body on the line for her team.
Yeah, and it takes quite a bit of high IQ soccer knowledge to know that there's nobody else inside that 18. You might as well put your body on the line up front. Central Michigan, an opportunity to attack. It is squandered by Greer Isaacson of the Cardinals, who kicks it away. But back to it with Sophia Spano in the attacking third. Once again, Isaacson getting her hands dirty, near side. Gets past one defender. She's tripped up again by Kylie Weed. We've seen this story before. Weed had the yellow card on Isaacson earlier, and this time it draws a Ball State opportunity out of bounds on the near touch line.
Yeah, these two are going at it, especially Weed. She's played a pretty aggressive game, gotten a lot of whistles on her, but it's kind of just the way she plays the game.
They let it rip. To the outside of the 18, they work. Ball State now, a little bit of breathing room. Looks inside for Watkins. Kylie Weed, who's been great defensively today, pushes away Watkins, nearly goes out of bounds on the goal line. Watkins keeps it alive for Ball State. Between the legs, into the 18. Big collision. Down goes Freese and Watkins. She has to take a moment to catch her breath as Ball State still has possession on this end of the pitch. Goes out of play near touch line. Chippewas with possession. Ella Dykstra, she kicks back. Cardinals now with it, going right to left on your radio dial. Emily Roper, the former Carmel Greyhound, kicking backwards to Izzy Ross. Both teams playing a tight defense in this second half. Showing, again, the weather. We talked about maybe the energy would be down in the second half. I would say quite the contrary.
It's been up, especially exactly, I should say.
It really has been up for both teams, especially the Chippewas. The tight defense they've played. Melena Troy, far side, in a 1-1 game, gets tripped up. Nearly goes out of play, but Ball State keeps it alive, walking the tightrope on the far touch end. An interception that time for Central Michigan. Looking for Dykstra, but the Cardinals have an opportunity to reset. Into the middle of the pitch for Emily Roper. Rachel Jackson. Now Spano. Center of the pitch, they move back. Jess Furno loses her footing, and another opportunity for the Chippewas. Well into the attacking third, goes off the body. Ball State back with it. Far end, they work. Again, another collision on the far touch line. This has become a quite physical game. And time is called. Both teams will take a moment to catch their breath with about 22 minutes to go. A 1-1 match, and we will do the same. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Soccer on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back. It's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Welcome back to Briner Sports Complex. The Ball State Cardinals and Central Michigan Chippewas all knotted at 1. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by Sam Klug. This has been a second half really on the offensive front. It's been dominated by the Chippewas. Melena Troy with the first goal of the season for Central Michigan.
Yeah, but there's honestly been a shift in the game so far. The Cardinals had 2 great attacking opportunities right there, 2 shots on goal, unable to convert, and we're still knotted at 1 apiece.
Chippewas have another one of their own right now with Troy. She misses it all on the kick attempt, and Roper gets there for Ball State inside the 18. Now Lexi Watkins near side tries to get past Weed, but again, she's been a defensive menace. She picks the pocket. Inside the 18 box, Ball State with it with Addie Chester. Far side, tries to go for Sapia. Goes too long. The inbound goes to Ella Dykstra, the Lake Michigan College transfer. She's tripped up by a sea of red. It's Addie Chester that comes away with it for Ball State. Working backwards inside the center circle, Abby Fries takes 3 hops on its way over to Ella Betzold. Betzold, her older sister, played in the program for 4 years at Central Michigan. She knows a thing or two. Inside the 6, it's deflected away by Ahern of the Cardinals. She has it too. She's looking to go to midfield, but instead Rachel Jackson inserts her dominance there for the Chippewas. Formerly a defensive player, kind of showing it there. Ball State head tap as they were trying to go into the attacking third. Central Michigan, they move left to right today. Near side to go with Greer Isaacson, walking the tightrope. Nobody home on that pass, looking to go the opposite end of the pitch, well out of bounds on that bottom half. And Central Michigan, they make a few changes. Aaliyah Pena, she checks into the contest. The other one for Central Michigan, that looks to be Grace Cameron. So here we go. Central Michigan, near side. The inbound is Kylie Weed. And now they let it go.
Not a lot going on offensively for both teams. Kind of just stuck in this no man's land here in the middle of the pitch.
That's really where we've been, but now Dykstra has an opportunity to attack for Central Michigan. Troy puts one on, diving effort. Abby Jenkins, another save for the Cardinal.
Huge stop right there, especially after giving up her 5th goal of the season. Way to get back on track and keep the Cardinals knotted at 1 apiece.
That one, a high arcing kick, maybe didn't go where she wanted it to. It goes out of play on the near side. Gets a new ball from one of the ball shaggers on the near side is Kylie Weed, yet again to inbound. The freshman who has made such an impact in this contest, especially defensively for Central Michigan. Tripped up that time is Emily Roper. She hits the deck hard, and Ball State has an opportunity to reset.
Yeah, going back to Weed, she's been in the game for a long time. I think we keep mentioning her name. Definitely has a lot of minutes in this one so far.
Yeah, Kylie Weed, again, in high school, she was on the roll all 7 semesters. I say 7 and not 8 because she graduated a semester early.
That's right.
Jess Furno on the far touchline has it stripped away by Central Michigan. So Ball State an opportunity to attack, but not for Liv Moulton. She nearly goes out of bounds on the goal line, but it goes out of bounds on the far touch side. Avoiding disaster, could have been a corner kick for Ball State. Would have been their first of the day.
Yep, we haven't seen any yet.
Out of play yet again, but this time on the far touch line towards the 18-yard box. It goes in Central Michigan's favor. Melena Troy off the chest. Ball State comes away. Roper inside the 12 looking for Watkins. It's kicked away. Troy, a big collision. I think that was a head-on-head collision, and they stopped the clock. You see a Cardinal right there holding her head. Looks to me like it is Izzy Ross. Yeah, Izzy Ross, the freshman, holding her head. I mean, again, that's one of the scariest parts of this game. When you go head-on-head, both going for the ball, and instead neither of you get the ball.
Yeah, and the head is it's a pretty hard bone of the body. It's definitely not soft.
Not at all. So Ball State does make a change on the pitch. Cardinals go to Kaylin Vallow. First time we've called her name in the second half. Central Michigan, though, looking to hold off the Cardinals on their attacking third. Emily Roper, it'll be tough for her as Abby Freese gets there first. But now Aaliyah Pena, guarded closely by Vallow. Far touch line, poked out of bounds. Who will it go to? That's the question. It is Central Michigan. You got 18 minutes to go in this contest. It's 1-1. Remember, there is no extra time in the regular season in Division I soccer as Ball State comes away with it at midfield. So if this one is still 1-1 by the end of the 90 minutes, then that will be what it is.
That's right. And, you see a lot of draws in soccer, especially collegiate soccer. But actually this year, something interesting. None for Central Michigan yet.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's just an 0-7 record. Ball State has one. It was against Butler. And a whistle blown that time. It's Fiona Killian going down for Ball State. It'll be a free kick. And what a great opportunity to have a free kick on the outside of the attacking third for Ball State, going right to left. Everyone lines up on the outside of the 18.
And it's interesting because in his time here at CMU, Groves has 21 ties compared to 30 wins. Should say draws. I keep getting my terminology mixed up. It's draws in soccer.
Yeah, it is a big difference, though, I will say.
Indeed it is.
Here we go. They hesitate, though, before they go with the free kick. It's Klaus. No, it's not. It's Killian. Did a little double fake on us. Head tap. Nearly goes out of play. Takes 2 hops. Then it does on the goal line. Ball State was able to get a head on it. But, again, those free kicks in a position like that, those can be deadly for the Chippewas.
Yeah, and Roper was in a perfect position to make something happen. It just hit off the wrong side of her head, went streaming out of bounds to the right side of the net on the left side of your dial, and we stay knotted at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and of course, Roper, she is the tallest player on the pitch. That is exactly who you want to go to. And same on Central Michigan's end. That's why they've used Abby Freese quite a bit. Now, Ball State, it's a collision at midfield, but Aaliyah Pena of the Chippewas gets there. Chester tries to pick the pocket, but unable to do so. Looking back now, Rachel Jackson, far end, outside of the goal box. Tries to go inside the 6, goes long. It's a free ball. Could be anybody's. Who will get there? It is the Cardinals and Greer Isaacson. Inside their own 18, Ball State has to move quickly, and they have to get out of this jam. Emily Roper tries to do so. Cardinals move backwards, and Central Michigan eases the pressure a little bit.
Good hustle by Roper there to get to that ball first. Another one of those forwards who kind of plays like a midfielder, too.
Grace Cameron outside the 18 towards the goal line. It's deflected away. Will this be a corner kick? It appears it will be. How about this? Central Michigan with their 3rd corner kick.
Everybody hustling to the box. This is where you need to capitalize on these opportunities that the Cardinals have been giving you, especially because a lot of the last few minutes, the Cardinals have been on offense.
And Rachel Jackson looks to be the one to kick it away. No curl on that one. It's immediately deflected by Furno of the Cardinals. Out in front, high arcing kick into the 18 or on the crescent of it. Freese gets ahead to it. Roper gets ahead to it for Ball State. Anybody's ball. It's the Cardinals and Killian, but not before Troy gets there. Another head tap from Roper as it's deflected on the right side of the pitch. Ball State in the center circle. Roper being aggressive. Cardinals looking for the opportunity with Caldwell. Roper tries to head tap away to Caldwell. Unable to do so, but she still gets possession. Not before another whistle is blown and another reset in favor of Central Michigan.
Yeah, Caldwell just offsides right there. I think the Ball State bench didn't agree with the call, but the official calls it. And that stifles a great opportunity for the Cardinals, especially with, I believe one of the Chippewas was on the ground, so it would have been a 10 versus 9.
Yeah, it could have been a driving opportunity for Caldwell. Now Leah Pena on an island on the far side, but a whistle is blown.
He's offsides as well.
Yeah, Again, we're trading offsides calls with 14 minutes to go in the second half, and it's 1-1. Ball State now. Here we go. Isaacson kicks it away for the Cardinals, going right to left on your radio dial. Crystal clear skies, and a whistle blown yet again. Ball State has an opportunity to reset now.
Becoming a little bit sloppy here.
Yeah, and that goes for both teams.
Exactly, yes. Sloppy on both sides. And that's something, Coach Groves actually talked about. He's like, we need to clean that up. We need to be more consistent and be cleaner on our plays.
Here we go. The free kick for Ball State. Atop of the pitch. Into the 6. Roper tries to go to head tap. It's wide left. I don't even think it made contact with Roper. Just a long shot, but it goes wide left of the post.
And, man, there was a collision there in the goalie box. A lot of bodies going up and coming back down on top of each other.
Yeah, this is a physical game. These are two teams that don't want to lose.
Or draw, for that matter.
Yeah, or draw, too.
I know a lot of people in sports say they'd rather lose than draw. Not sure how it goes for this team, but sometimes a draw can almost feel like a unfinished product of some sort.
That is interesting. It's an interesting way to think about things as it goes out of play on the near side. I've been involved in many sports as a player where, again, there have been draws, and I've thought to myself, is that it, really? I mean, you feel the need, like, I want to go back out there. I want to finish this thing, but it ends 0-0 or 1-1 in this case. But Ball State hoping that's not the case. With 12 minutes to go, it is 1-1. Isaacson working to Caldwell inside the 18. She does have to put it in reverse. Backwards to Moncrief. Left to right, they go up atop the pitch, directing it over. Klassen, feed inside, looking for Killian. It goes off at Chippewa. Now to Grace Cameron of Central Michigan. Man, suffocating defense for the Chippewas, but Ball State with Audrey Goodyear, they get it inside the center circle, but not before Ella Dykstra pokes it away.
It was a really good setup there for a second for the Cardinals.
Driving lane, Milena Troy, it's 2-on-1. Tripped up, what a great effort by the Cardinals, but a whistle blown. It goes against Ball State. Man, oh man. That is something that they might want back. It goes against Delaney Ahern, but man, would have been a crucial stop for Ball State.
And Ahern, coming into today, leads the team in minutes played. So someone you probably would least expect it from, someone with a ton of experience on the season so far, as we have a penalty kick coming up. Can Abby Jenkins be the hero?
Yeah, this is huge. A penalty kick, one-on-one. It's Milena Troy, who had the goal earlier in that first half, or the second half, I should say, against Abby Jenkins. Here we go. First penalty kick, the only penalty kick of the day so far with 12 minutes to go. Troy takes a deep breath. Lines it up. Here we go. Shot on well high. Jenkins didn't have to do anything that time.
She missed. She did not get that one close. That is a sigh of relief for the Cardinals.
Now, Sam, do you think she got the yips there?
She may have, but considering she had scored the one earlier, I don't know where those would have come from. I mean, she had, I will say it's probably pretty nerve-wracking considering your team hasn't gotten a win yet and you really want to get that first one, but huge for the Cardinals.
Milena Troy does get it right back on a head tap off of the kick away from Abby Jenkins. Yeah, first penalty kick of the contest. Ball State, on their end, they haven't had a penalty kick all season, which is interesting. Kicked back, Cardinals get it with Jordan Klassen. It's blocked away, but Audrey Goodyear gets it for the Cardinals on the deflection. Moncrief head taps it and guides it over to Furno off to her left. Middle of the pitch, gets past one defender. Tries to get past two. Goes to her right, guiding that ball over to Delaney Caldwell. Out in front, has an opportunity. One-on-one, here's the shot on, and it's wide right.
The pass looked perfect, and we're going to have the first corner kick for the Cardinals today. But, man, that pass looked perfect for Caldwell. It got tripped up under her feet.
Here we go, Ball State. It's not a corner kick quite yet. It goes out of play on the end line, so no corner kick there. It was out on Caldwell, but they did call it in favor of the Cardinals. They don't set up in the corner, but eventually they do go to Briley Borgman now for Central Michigan. 10 minutes to go.
That's a huge missed opportunity for the Cardinals, especially with all that momentum the Chippewas are coming off in that penalty kick as well. Missed opportunity.
Here we go, back atop, Kylie Weed, near side, high arcing kick and out of play. 10 minutes to go in this one. It is 1-1. But man, Delaney Caldwell, that last shot, such a golden opportunity, just went wide right. Now there's a whistle blown, tripped up is Rachel Jackson. That allows Central Michigan to reset.
That's one's going to be on Emily Roper. That's definitely a foul. Kind of tackled her right there. Another turnover on the Cardinal offense.
Here we go. Briley Borgman kicks it away with the right foot. The goalkeeper for Central Michigan on the right end of the pitch. It's tapped that time by Moncrief. Stomping it down over to Emily Roper. She's guarded closely, middle of the pitch, looking for Caldwell. Maybe a driving lane, but it's intercepted by Sapia of Central Michigan. 9 minutes to go in this one. It is 1-1. Delaney Caldwell, she juggles. Inside the 18, looking for Furno. Goes off of her chest. Gets past one defender. Has an opportunity. It's tapped away by Abby Freese, the freshman.
What a play by Furno right there to hit it over her defender's head. Didn't have the time to kind of regroup and get the ball, but what a play from her skill set.
Abby Jenkins goes back to her on her end. Kicks it off to her right. Under 9 minutes now. Both teams looking to avoid a draw. Goodyear working the far side to Delaney Caldwell. She has not gotten a breather, really, only once this second half, I should say.
And it's definitely cooled off here. But that pitch is probably still pretty hot from the day's sun.
Oh, certainly. A little bit of relief during halftime as well. That helped. And a whistle is blown. Central Michigan has possession. Roper kicked it away, but instead now Briley Borgman, the goalkeeper for the Chippewas, to kick it away with about 8 minutes to go.
Looks like we might have had another offsides. Again, the Cardinal offense kind of turning over the ball a lot here now.
Left to right they work. Gets past one Cardinal, now to Troy. Far end, and that's going to be another offsides call. It's on the Chippewas this time. Aaliyah Pena got out in front of that one a little too early.
We're doing this back and forth offensive, or offsides, I should say.
And we saw that earlier in this half. That one goes long for Ball State on the kick. Abby Freese controls, but the Cardinals try to get there. Could have been an opportunity, but kicked away by Borgman. It was one-on-one. Dead ball whistle, but going back to that last play, man, it was one-on-one. Ball State could have had the opportunity to make this a 2-1 game with Fiona Killian.
Yeah, they had a golden opportunity right there, although the ball was traveling a little too fast for their liking.
Definitely the case. Killian, it's pushed out of bounds, far touch line by Rachel Jackson of Central Michigan. The feed into Delaney Caldwell off of the head. Back out of play off of Gabriella Sapia of Central Michigan. Ball State once again attacking. Under 7 minutes to go in this one. 1-1 our score. They feed. Cardinals, a lob in, looking for Emily Roper. She stomps it down. She's surrounded by a sea of white. A head tap. It's inside the 6, but nobody home. It's easily collected on one bounce by Briley Borgman, the goalkeeper. Here we go. High arcing kick for Central Michigan. Nobody wants the tie. Everybody wants this.
That's right. Both these teams have put forth their best effort today in this hot and humid day for an entire 90 minutes, and we've only got 6 left.
And I'm sure a lot of these players, they're not even thinking about the amount of time left in that sense. They're probably thinking about, like, we have 6 minutes left to score.
Indeed they are, for sure. And like you said, kind of that sense of urgency is probably starting to kick in.
Grace Cameron inside the 18 to Sophia Spano. Kicked away by Moncrief of the Cardinals. The sophomore making big plays today. Gets past Roper. Tries to back forward just to the outside of the 18. Delaney Caldwell trying to get control off of Troy. It's kicked away, far touch line. Who will it go to? It looks like it goes to Ball State. That's big for the Cardinals' momentum with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
If I'm Coach Stoots, I'm yelling at my team, all right, this is the time to attack. Be that aggressive team that we want to be.
Here we go. Central Michigan, they get it off of the inbound. It's Aaliyah Pena right there at mid-pitch. Feed far side. Cameron trying to not get caught offside, so she slows down her momentum, and Abby Jenkins gets there, the goalkeeper for Ball State, on the crescent of the 18. The pop-up at midfield. Over towards Kylie Weed, collected by Moulton, deflected by Caldwell. She moves quickly, tries to get out ahead, but instead Abby Freese gets there. But no, Fiona Killian tries to push her way ahead, goes between her legs. On the attacking side for Ball State, Furno controls, the freshman. They backtrap to Killian. Moncrief inside the 18, kicked back. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this one. 1-1 our score. Vallow for Ball State, intercepted by Pena. Central Michigan moving on ahead, a steamrolling kick. Nobody's going to touch this, at least quite yet. Nearly goes out of play. Goodyear gets there. She gets tripped up hard. It's out of bounds. It was off of Goodyear. And we're not going to get a whistle quite yet.
I think we might have did as well.
I think we did get the free kick. So, yeah, Ball State does have it there.
There's a foul on the Chippewas again. This is Ball State's time. They've had the ball for the latter half of these final 10 minutes, so if they want to attack, the time is now.
Yeah, once again, Central Michigan kind of going low there, but now they're on their attacking side, going left to right, and a stoppage in play yet again. Looks like that one may have been offsides, and Ball State has it.
Got the flag up from the alternate official over here.
But, man, when you're attacking, especially in a matchup like this, it's 1-1, 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and that happens, has to be frustrating.
Indeed. And this is probably the last chance either team is going to get. Takes probably about 30 seconds to get down the pitch. But not many more opportunities.
Central Michigan making a barrage of changes. For one of them, it's Alyssa DeCampula. Another one, you have Olivia Bretz checking in. Now, here we go. Love up far side, just over 3 minutes to play. Out of play, far touch line. And it goes to Central Michigan. How about that? They're on their attacking side of the pitch. A little over 3 minutes to go.
This is extremely important time for Central Michigan. Ooh, nice kick out by the Cardinals.
Yeah, Audrey Goodyear getting out of trouble, at least in the meantime, as it's on the left side of the pitch now, the defensive end for Central Michigan. Kicked away by Isaacson off the head of Furno of Ball State. They reset with Olivia Bretz. Near side, Moncrief. The pop-up to Abby Freese of Central Michigan. Still on Ball State's attacking side, now in the center circle. A head tap that time from Klassen. Here we go, Fiona Killian. They backtrack, cycling back over to Caitlin Vallow between the legs of Pena. Delaney Caldwell tries to get it opening, carving her way through the defense, deep inside the channel, puts one on, it's wide left. Delaney Caldwell. She wanted it all, just couldn't quite get it.
What an attack from Caldwell, firing up the right side of the field, just wide left of the net. What an opportunity, and it's something we haven't even touched on yet. Addie Chester's nowhere to be found right now, and what a way to capitalize on that moment for Delaney Caldwell and really attack, giving her team a chance to come away with the win.
That's a big loss, as Lexi Watkins does check in for Ball State. But, man, that was something. Briley Borgman putting her body on the line, too, but it was wide left on the shot anyhow. Roper, the head tap. That's got to be so deflating for Ball State. But with under 2 minutes to play, you got to put it in the back of your mind, and you have to have that sense of urgency. Near touchline, out of play. Kylie Weed. She inbounds for Central Michigan on her own defensive third on the near touchline. Lets it rip between the legs. Who to go off of? It goes to Central Michigan. Kylie Weed to inbound. Off of Greer Isaacson it goes. 1:30 now. We are entering that 90th minute where everything matters. 1-1. Here we go. Opportunity for Central Michigan. Abby Jenkins kicks it away, the goalkeeper. Ball State an opportunity to attack. Just over a minute to go in this one. 1-1 our score. Attacking third, here we go. Vallow up top, directing it over to Caldwell. Feed inside for Roper. Goes wide right and missed it all right there. Didn't get a touch on her at all. And 1 minute remaining. Central Michigan looking for their first tie of the season, but they're not really satisfied with that. Ball State looking to avoid their second tie of the year. 45 seconds. It's a sea of red that gets there with Audrey Goodyear. They're on Central Michigan's attacking side. Sophia Spano with 35 seconds to go. They attack centrally. Ball State, they get a foot to it with Ahern. It's kicked out of bounds near touchline. 30 seconds to go. Ballshagger gives Kylie Weed a new ball for Central Michigan. Feed inside Betzold, the sophomore. Pushed away by Isaacson. It's out of bounds. Goes to the Cardinals with 20 seconds. This is huge. Cardinals have to move quickly to get on their end of the pitch. They're on their own defensive third. 15 seconds down. Make it 10. Central Michigan with possession. Rachel Jackson pushed away by Watkins and a whistle blown. They stop. Will they stop the clock? That's the question. And they do at the last second.
Looks like we got a yellow card. Bunch of confusion going on. There might be one last free kick here.
Yeah, that's what it looks to be. A yellow card. They didn't stop the clock until that last second. But this is either team's last opportunity, especially for Central Michigan. On their attacking side, a free kick for Olivia Bretz. Was with the team in 2023. Last season played Division III at center. She has come back home, and she has come back home for moments like this. One last free kick with 2 seconds on the clock. 1-1 our score. This is for all the marbles. On the attacking side, arm up, lets it rip. 2 seconds, wide left into the hands of Jenkins. And that is your ball game. A 1-1 tie. Central Michigan, they advanced to 0-7-1. Ball State to 4-2-2. A draw.
Yeah, good game by the Cardinals to avoid another loss and really play good defense there in the latter half of that second half. And then it's fantastic for the Central Michigan Chippewas to finally get their first goal on the season, put one on the board, and start playing some real offense.
Yeah, again, Central Michigan, the big thing. They got their first goal of the year, Milena Troy. But I guess the big story is going to be for Ball State. There were quite a bit of missed opportunities in that second half. How did you feel about the Cardinals' attack in half number 2?
I mean, they didn't really even look like they had an attacking opportunity until the second half of the second half. And again, a big missing piece there in the entirety of the second half is Addie Chester, their leading goal scorer. She was nowhere to be found. Delaney Caldwell tried to pick up the lost amount, but it wasn't enough, and we end in a draw here today in Muncie.
So, in your eyes, obviously this could be a little tough for Ball State, even though they didn't lose. They end in a draw. How do you keep your head up and then go into Kent State on Sunday here at home?
Yeah, I think you take a look at that first half, how well the defense played, how early the offense was able to take advantage of some of the holes that Central Michigan provided. And yeah, you go back to what Coach Stoots so commonly talks about, how he wants to be aggressive, attack the ball when it's in the air. And there might be a bigger story that we are missing with some of their players missing, such as Addie Chester, just to name one. But yeah, just take away the positives from today and work on what you thought were the negatives.
Let's look at the upcoming schedule for Ball State. On Sunday, it's Kent State at home, 1 o'clock, and then next week at Buffalo at 6 o'clock. Then you're at Ohio. You're not back home until October 5th, going up against Western Michigan, a team that as of right now, they're 4-2.
Yeah, and again, and lots of travel. You obviously flying all the way to Buffalo, New York. You have to go to Ohio, who successfully took down this exact Chippewa team. So not an easy road trip coming up for the Cardinals. And before that, they got to get it done on home turf here at Briner on Sunday versus Kent.
Yeah, and you can catch that matchup right here on Sunday at Briner Sports Complex and, of course, on SL Digital Radio. For the best stories in Ball State sports, our program's latest videos, and SportsLink program information, that can all be found at ballstatesportslink.com. And, man, what a day it has been for Ball State soccer, a 1-1 draw against the Central Michigan Chippewas. What was your biggest takeaway from this, and how do you take this experience and take it into Kent State?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is, again, how aggressive they were attacking the ball in the first half and how much that kind of switched up in the second half. It ebbed and flowed there in the second half. They had some really good chances to attack the goal. Obviously, that barely wide goal by Delaney Caldwell there in the around the 80th minute. But yeah, you take some positives from today and you try and hyper focus on that. And then from the Central Michigan point, I think if your coach, if your head coach Groves, you say, hey, team, we rebounded super well from being down super early in this one. And I love your fight. He's probably saying about the fight that they showed. And, yeah, just, again, take the positives from today. And the Central Michigan team, again, huge getting their first goal.
Yeah, that is huge. A big stepping stone for them. And that'll do it for our broadcast. Ball State 1, Central Michigan 1 to end it. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Sam Klug. And good night, Muncie. You're listening to Ball State.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.